This program is funded in part by Sprint. Sprint, together with Nextel. Stay connected, stay informed. And cooperation with the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and Maryland Public Television.
There's a new tool in the fight against terror. It's not a missile or a helicopter. Rather, it's software. A new generation of software can search millions of data files for patterns in names, social security numbers, financial transactions, geospatial data, and thousands of other elements. Using visual interpretation tools, users can then quickly spot trends and abnormalities. The software creators say it can tap into huge volumes of data, even across multiple federal agencies, and it's been credited with identifying some of the terrorists we've seen captured at home and abroad. It's also solving classified information challenges for governments worldwide.
Dick Bear works with the top intelligence agencies by pulling critical data from across multiple databases and then looking at it visually. Bear describes what he looks for in software tools to meet this need.
And when I make a single query to that overarching machine, it goes out simultaneously to all of them. It brings back relevant information based on my query and translate that into a graphic presentation.
Chris Westfall has worked side by side with agents and analysts from the IRS, Customs, FBI, and other intelligence and law enforcement agencies. He specializes in supporting anti-money laundering offices throughout Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America. He's drawn upon a unique understanding of their needs for data analysis.
We have the ability to essentially take, what a spreadsheet would look like, just a bunch of numbers or a bunch of names or data in columns, and create a picture from that. And in an instant, you're able to interpret that picture to say, oh, here's something that stands out.
Visual Analytics is a high-growth Maryland-based company with big ideas. We take you on location to Poolesville, Maryland, located in the nation's capital, to meet Chris Westfall, David O'Connor, and Bennett McFadder, co-founders of VAI. They formed VAI because they saw this need for a new level of clarity in data analysis.
We wanted to be able to reach out there, leave the information in the format that it's in, but present it in a way that looks unified. So to the end user, the information looks like it's coming from one source. But in reality, it's actually coming from many different sources across many different organizations in different formats.
Visual Analytics' two products address the core needs for intelligence. Digital Information Gateway, or DIG for short, allows the client to search across many different databases to very quickly find the exact data they need. Their Visual Links tool adds visual analysis tools to make it easier to interpret and make just-in-time decisions.
Before there were Windows, people were working on DOS machines that was not graphical, and it's the natural progression is to go from something that's textual to something that's visual to help people organize information. We just kind of took that to the next level from a data point of view.
Visual tools are all around us. Highly detailed satellite images have found their way into our daily lives.
People, addresses, telephone numbers that I'm looking at in an array. What's the relationship between them? Who talks to who, which addresses, which cars, and everything? Where do they fit?
By tying data like financial transactions and phone calls into a detailed mapping system, users can quickly spot geospatial patterns. This functionality is crucial for high-profile customers like the FBI, CIA, and IRS. Chris Westfall describes a real-world application.
We were down on one of the U.S. land borders and actually targeting loaded vehicles, narcotic vehicles coming across into the United States. And with our system, we had to pick out which cars we believed were loaded and then send those into a secondary inspection to see if we actually got a hit. So I have myself personally helped pull bricks of marijuana out of the hidden compartments in a car to fill the shopping bags full because of the hits that we were able to identify.
While their software is on the front line of the fight against drugs, fraud, and financial crimes, their highest profile application is intelligence. Watch as Chris demonstrates the ability to track a terrorist like Marzan al-Nassar.
So when we're trying to track this guy, he's going to be hard to find depending on where we may be looking, because all of these different connections that he has allows him to kind of hide between different fronts. So what we need to be able to do is be one step ahead of him and know what are all the potential aliases and all the potential ways in which he could be representing himself. Let me see what else is in common for Al Nassar. All right, guess what? Mr. Nassar is the bank man. So he's over here in the DC area. Like we said, we already saw he's got all these companies. And guess what? We've got a bunch of accounts on this guy, and we've got a bunch of financial transactions.
Due to the classified nature of VAI's users, we are unable to disclose the specific details of many of their operations. But plenty of information is available on the web about how individual intelligence agencies use these technologies.
I would personally love to be responsible, or at least partly responsible, or help catching some of these terrorists out there. And that's, to me, that's very important. They're threatening our way of life. We have a tool that can solve the problem. As long as we get in front of the right people and the right people use our tool, I think we can find them.
Spending the day and talking with employees, you find an intensity that seems to complement the critical needs for their tools to capture terrorists. But the employees also manage to have fun. With a growing demand for their software, both domestically and internationally, Visual Analytics is upgrading their tool for next-generation ease of use.
As we scale up to the next levels, what we're going to do is start to encode the intelligence actually into the tool itself, and more or less deliver, push a button and get an answer.
The push-button technology is called Symphony and was developed directly to meet the needs of many classified clients for its universal ease of use with limited or no training.
Symphony will allow you to do that without having to code. And many organizations, when they want to provide functionality like that, they need to go and start up a whole new project, get developers out, code all the rules that they want to code. With Symphony, it essentially brings that type of capability closer to the administrator rather than the coder.
In 2003, the three executives were finalists for Ernst & Young's Entrepreneur of the Year Award, and in 2005, they landed a top spot on Deloitte & Touche's list of the fastest-growing tech companies in Maryland. The next level of their software is mapped out, but with increasing competition in a fragmented market, unforeseen challenges lie ahead in this lucrative business.
There's no 800-pound gorilla in our space yet. There's lots of people that address different parts of the community, so we're trying to grow ourselves into the 800-pound gorilla. And with the additional offerings we're bringing online recently, we're able to essentially address the entire analytical process here.
In 1978, the government launched the first GPS satellite, and now we take GPS signals for granted in our cars, on our phones, and even in our watches. The next step of data analysis is further synergizing GPS, satellite maps, and now visual data analysis to discover patterns and find criminals. Many experts predict that this powerful combination may have an impact on our lives equal to or greater than development of the Internet. For Business Now, I'm Len Dybert.